NewEnglandHipHop.com.
Yeah, NewEnglandHipHop.com. It's your boy DJ Motion. We got Doc Ish in the building. About to get into this interview, man. So, Doc Ish, how you been, man? What you been up to?
Honestly, I just got out of the hospital about a week ago on Thursday. Been in and out since August. Basically the story of my life.
Well, we're definitely grateful to have you sitting down with us today. Definitely hope you're feeling better. Now, you did some production on one of Eminem's albums. I think it was The Relapse with the track called We Made You. Now, I didn't hear about the track actually winning a Grammy, but apparently it did. How'd you find out about that? And how did you take it? You know?
Nah, yeah, thanks. I appreciate that on the win. How I found out really was because they didn't show it on the TV when M won a Grammy for Rap Album of the Year. Charmaine had called me. She was excited, going crazy. She's the one that was singing on the hook, We Made You. So she explained it to me, was telling me that we won. And it never really, hasn't really hit me still, you know, to this day, I guess. I don't even really think about it, to be honest with you.
Well, that's what's up. Now, how did you go about like actually getting the record into Eminem's hands and all that, and you know, making the deal? Like, what happened?
I initially produced the record for Bizarre from D12, and I mean the hook, the beat, everything was there. And he called me up about maybe a week or two after we completed it, and said that Marshall wanted the record, and I mean, I thought he was playing around, so it was kind of crazy, and everything happened so fast. And you know, he asked if M's manager could call me, and I said sure.
No doubt. Now, you know, being a part of a Grammy-winning song, has that like changed your life at all? Anything changed? Anything spectacular happen after that?
I mean, honestly, nothing's really changed, you know, since the Grammys. You know, I still live in the hood, still live in Hartford, you know, still drive the same car, all that type of shit. You know, still deal with a lot of bullshit. I mean, the only thing that really changes, you know, people treat me different. I don't really like it. I don't like attention. You know, it brings good and bad attention.
Alright. So we've been hearing about a compilation album. Supposed to be coming out soon, which has been pushed back a couple times, I think. Any word on a real release date? You know what I mean? Like, I know the people are waiting for it. And, you know, what were them initial reasons for the delay in the album?
This is a good question. The release date is official. How many times have I said that? I don't know. 3-4 times. The release date right now is December 14th, 2010. Now, why did this shit get pushed back so many times? Well, let's see here. Doc Ish was in the hospital about 2 months. Got out, was back in the hospital for another month. So it's not really much I can do about that. You know, my health has always been my enemy. You know, so that's why I hate it just as much as people that hit me up, that complain about it, hate it. You know, but you know, I couldn't get certain things in time. And there's a lot of verses out there that a lot of artists that you see names out there that were supposed to get on the comp, and even names that weren't even mentioned, that I've worked with on their projects were supposed to get on the comp. And you know, I talk to them while they ain't in anything. But you know, the album is really another layer of me. You know, it's like an onion. You know, you just gotta show a lot of different layers. I mean, I got a lot of different sides of me. This is just one side. You know, I'm already kind of putting this project past me, and I'm already thinking about the next one. But I mean, to go back from 2004, Basic Fundamentals, that's the year I went in the hospital for the first time for years. That project means a lot to me, just because a lot of hip-hop heads were on it from Hartford, Connecticut, MBS from Massachusetts. There's just a lot of different, you know. That was a good record. That's actually the first album I ever mixed. That's how I learned how to mix. One of my close friends was the engineer. He was doing a shitty job. He wanted to party, and I take music in my career extremely serious. I'm extremely picky. So I fired him, and we had an analog board at the time, so I just mixed every single song down like 10, 20 times until I got it right. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I knew what I wanted to hear and what I wanted it to sound like, but you know, I didn't really know about highs, lows, mids, and all the frequency stuff. But it was a good lesson. I learned the hard way, but it was fun. But this album features a lot of people. This was a headache. Took a long time to complete, but the official release date is December 14th. The album release party is December 14th. So it's definitely going down December 14th this time, for sure, because it's handed in and it's good to go.
All right, so there we go. December 14th is the album release and the album release party. So let's keep it moving, man. Talk to us about Today's Youth for Tomorrow, man. What's that all about? Today's
Youth for Tomorrow, the idea originally initiated from a mentor to me, my boy Vaughn Allen. He had a after-school program, Crunch Time Youth program, and he'd been doing it for years before, you know, me and Mello had got ours started. And I got kids. I love working with kids. I love, you know, I coach football and all kinds of stuff. So, you know, I like getting involved with the community. And it was just easy to do because, you know, I like working with kids. I love music. So what better way to do but come up with a program that basically, you know, we dealt with the majority of foster kids and kids that were in detention centers and out with limited restrictions and stuff like that. And it's a program that's for ages 14 to 18. You can be a senior as long as you're 18. If you're out of high school, you can't be in the program. It's not our rules. It's basically, you know, DCF and the mentoring program who initiates a lot of the funding, their rules. But, you know, it's an awesome program. You know, I wish there was more funding from, you know, different sponsorships to where, you know, we could really keep this going. But, you know, basically, I teach the kids how to produce, how to make beats, how to write rhymes, how to count their bars, how to engineer, how to set up a recording studio session. You know, it's another outlet, you know, getting off the streets, getting in the studio, doing something productive. It's also teaching them another trade that they can take with them and get a job with and go to school with. You know, I have one kid who he went to Berkeley and just came. It was funny. He was in my studio. And I don't even know, like maybe a couple weeks ago, working on this project with this female artist, Essence. And it was funny because he was on the track with the hook, sung the hook and everything. And he was like one of the first kids that inspired me about these programs and stuff like that. And the turnaround, 9 times out of 10 is a good turnaround. I mean, I've had kids that were in the program that were in gangs, opposite gangs, and were beefing before they came into the program. Once they came into the program, they were hugging at the ceremonies and talking about, that's my boy right there. So, it's really, I love that, honestly, more than anything else I do. Working with anybody you could think of or mention, today's youth for tomorrow. It's a good program.
Well, that's what's up, man. I know a lot of people are gonna pay homage to you on that. Giving the kids an ultimatum, letting them choose their own destiny. But let's talk about the Abnormals and like who's involved in that project and what's going on in that area.
The Abnormals, man, probably one of my favorite subjects right now. The Abnormals was formed about 2 years ago, and it's mixed with a couple of different people. Doc and Apollo, we used to have a group, DNA, Apollo Swift. He's in it. Belly the Beast Ortiz, he used to be a singer. Not that he still is, but I mean, not that he's not still a singer, but he started rapping like, I don't know, like serious, like 2 years ago. And I mean, he was just annihilating, people off the rip. I mean, it was just his wordplay, he doesn't write like your average rap artist. He writes like an R&B singer, and R&B singers can relate to this because you don't attack every song the same way. And a lot of rap artists rap the same style the same way on every track. And Belly the Beast Ortiz, he doesn't. Belly does not attack it the same way. I mean, every verse is always something brand new. It's like fresh to your ears. Third member on there is Colosso. Colosso is the quiet dude. He's the beast, but he's not as outgoing as the rest of the camp. Lyrical genius. I mean, the things that he writes and says is amazing. And he's a fantastic R&B writer too. He won't tell you that, but he has written a lot of big hooks and stuff that's actually coming out pretty soon. And then I'm the fourth member of the Abnormals. So it's us four. It's me, Apollo Swift, Belly, and Colosso. And we have so much material right now. We have so many situations on the table. They don't want a single record deal from any major label. They passed on a lot of stuff. Whether I agree or disagree, is left to be untold. But they are on my compilation, The First Treatment. Swift actually, Apollo Swift is who does the song No Goodbyes with B Burrows, who's part of my team, NEHH Productions. And we got a song called Fuck Outta Here that's coming out. We're shooting a video for it next week. That's going to be on The First Treatment. We got an EP that's coming out right after the compilation drops. And then we got an album that is yet to see. The EP is probably coming out on Universal, but the album is yet to see who we're going to sign to for that. They've done a lot of different stuff, to be honest with you. I can't think of, Swift has done a lot of songs for a lot of R&B people. Belly has written a lot of different R&B songs for stuff that's out there today. And he is also, features on a lot of people's stuff. Colosso's got a lot of projects going on. He got a project going on with Oratory. He got a project going on, his own solo project. And then he's got the Abnormals project. Everything is all kind of comes together through Dockish TV, to be honest with you. DockishTV.com, that was created over 2 years ago. The initial investor was Ben Baker, basketball player from Milwaukee Bucks that later, I think he last played with Boston Celtics, but he fell in love with the idea of Dockish TV, which is supposed to launch, any day now, or better. And the Abnormals basically kind of came together like that because it's a lot of funny stuff about Dockish TV. And then the group kind of just came together and we just started recording, making songs together. And next thing you know, it was just, banger after banger, hit after hit. So yeah, the Abnormals, that's my group. That's what I'm pushing heavy after this comp.
Well, that's what's up, man. We're definitely gonna be looking forward to that. Let's touch base on your life, man. Like, where were you born at? The places you've been, and the reason why you came back to New England.
It's a long story. There's nothing brief about it. But, I was born in Dallas, Texas. I lived there for about a year. Then I moved around a lot. Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, Brooklyn, New York, Hartford, Connecticut, of course, Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Most, some other places too in between for brief moments, but I spent most of my life really in Richmond, Virginia and Hartford, Connecticut. I really just kept going back and forth. So, I'm really, a lot of people say, you're from Virginia, wish they could say that easily. A lot of people say, nah, you're from Hartford, which, they can say that too. It's, but I guess what brought me back to the New England area was I was 18 and I got signed to a record deal as an artist and producer in Richmond, Virginia. So I moved back down to Richmond, Virginia after high school, and I was there for just maybe, a year, I want to say, not even. And I moved up to Brooklyn, New York, right before my 19th birthday for a production deal with X-Files Productions, who they had produced for Heavy D and Mother Superior and Corrupt and Foxy Brown and AZ and a lot of people. And Metamorphosis was a dope ass producer. I don't know whatever happened to him. I had a manager that kind of kept me from contacting him after I moved back to Hartford. But then I moved back to Hartford, and I've been back in Hartford now 10, 11 years. So, and I mean, it's home for me. You know, it's where my mother's from. My mother's whole side of the family, so it's, you know, it's home for me. I'm not leaving anytime soon, really.
No doubt, no doubt. So, at what point in your life did you start taking the producing thing like real serious, like really getting into it and knowing that's what you wanted to do?
I guess I started producing seriously in high school. I started off as a DJ in 7th, 8th grade, and I was a middle school kid, you know, DJing, cutting up all these high school parties, getting paid, making more money than my mother was making, you know, in a day, you know, in one show, or in a week, really, in one show. So that's actually how it started. But and my boy Khalid from he goes by the Classified, from a group SUP. It's made the Source magazine a couple times back in the 90s. They were actually ahead of their time. I still believe strongly that if they came out when they did, that they would have gave Wu-Tang, a lot of people would run for their money, because they were very lyrical. The beats were ridiculous, and they had so many different styles and layers to them. They had, you know, a guy that sounded like Luda years before Luda came out. They had a guy that sounded like Lloyd Banks years before Lloyd Banks came out. You know, so they had a lot of, they had Kapoor, who sounded like, you know, the Far Side. So they just had a mixture of, you know, of people. You know, my favorite rapper was Your Mom's out of SUP. He's probably one of my favorite rappers of all time from Hartford. But you know, back to Khalid, he used to just produce and make these killer ass beats, and he'd just be banging the beats, and we'd be in the basement, smoking, chilling, drinking, whatever. And I was just like, you know, what the hell? Like, how you doing this? And he had, you know, a keyboard that said ASR 10 on it. And it was just amazing to me that he would just sample these samples and chop them up and put these drums and stuff together. And then I was just like, damn, this is what I want to do. And I was like, you know, I don't know, it must have been like, I think it was like 15, 16 or something like that, 16, 17, when me and Apollo Swift was with me. When me and Swift went to pick it up, I got a loan, proof for a loan, and worked my butt off, paid it off, and got my first ASR 10. I've always taken it serious, and I would say that I took it more serious when I started getting real sick in high school and knew that my athletic career was over, because I was big in sports. And when I knew that I just couldn't play sports anymore because of my health, because the athletic director wouldn't let me, like, that shit just kind of got me into music, you know. And I started making a lot of depressed beats. Really.
All right. Now, who were some of the influences you had that motivated you and, you know, led you into becoming a producer?
I would say my influences are a lot of different stuff. Always, I mean, as the years change, you know, your influences change. You know, sometimes it's an MC that you hear spitting that could make you, you know, influential. DJ Premier are always always was probably like top number one. He's just, I don't know, he with the shit that he does, he was just ahead of his time with chopping the beats. I mean, everybody, you know, but I gotta give it a Large Pro too, because Large Pro taught, you know, Havoc, Pete Rock, Primo, you know, the pioneers really how to make beats. So, I guess it starts with him, but, you know, yeah, DJ Premier is definitely probably my biggest influential icon, I would say. But like I said, there's a lot of people. I mean, sometimes I just hear Swift, you know, just spit a verse or a hook, and just I got an idea for a beat, and I just start making the beat above my head or whatever. You know, I come from musicians in my family too, so my uncle, my aunt, my uncle's a drummer, my aunt's a singer, so they always were, you know, big too.
Alright. Now, how do you feel about the New England hip hop scene, man? Like, are you digging the scene? And who are some of your favorite artists out here at the moment, like right now?
New England hip hop scene, I think, is probably the dopest scene on the planet. Just cause, you know, we just got a lot of untapped talent out here, and a lot of it's too many to name, really, you know. I could get sliced up in the streets if I forget a name. You know what I mean? Nah, but it's, all jokes aside, I mean, there's a lot of dope MCs out here. New England hip hop scene, I would say, you know, there's a lot, but I'll chop it down to two. I would say my favorite unsigned artist from Massachusetts is NBS, Natural Born Spitters. I've always loved B Knuckles and E Flash music. Yo, they're just ridiculous. You know, I don't know why they're not signed. Connecticut, I have to go with Blackistan. I mean, obviously, of course, I will go with the Abnormals, but I don't want to be biased. But you know, I will go with Blackistan. Blackistan, you know, he's hip hop. His grind is ridiculous, and you have to be when you are real hip hop. And Blackistan is definitely real hip hop, and his lyrics, you know, are just crazy. And he was probably, because the Bounty Hunters, you know, they were like the first people in Hartford to have a tape, like the first cats out here before Tall T and them that really had a tape, you know, to hand out to, you know, the streets and everything. But what people don't even realize is that, you know, like V used to always tell me that Blackistan, even young at an early age, used to be in Charter Oak handing out tapes, you know, cassettes of his music before the Bounty Hunters did. So, I mean, it's a toss-up, you know what I mean? I mean, you know, Blackistan might have been the first.
Okay. All right, man, we're gonna wrap it up. You know what it is, man. Doc Ish, thanks for your time. It's very, very, very appreciated. And if you got anything else to say to the people out there, man, you want to give them some contact info or, like, you know, shout outs or anything like that, man, get it in. And it's been a pleasure having you, man.
Let's end it like this. Shout out to my man Jay Biggs. Thank you for the interview. Shout out to Kablunk and the whole New England hip hop community. The official album release date is December 14th, first treatment. Make sure you go out there and buy that. NewEnglandHipHop.com got the official release date first. You know how we do. Be sure to stay tuned to DocIshTV.com for exclusives, for updates, for beats, for the abnormals, for skits, for contests, chances to win prizes, all kinds of stuff. You really could follow me on Twitter.com/DocIsh, Facebook.com/DocIsh, but I'm really gonna be on DocIsh TV. Trust. That's gonna be the only way you're gonna be able to contact me when it all boils down, once the site launches, which again I said I hope it's tomorrow. So check me out there, check out the album, make sure you give me your feedback, and always stay tuned to NewEnglandHipHop.com, because they always get the exclusives from Doc Ish first before a lot of other people.